Off we go. If you want to take a break, what would you like to talk about? My dad's an antiquarian. Feeling chatty?
A breach near the sea. Ah, I do love the ocean. It's a shame you can only see it in 3 dimensions. All the quasitones and endless number forms. Actually, I take it back. Your meat brain would explode if you saw this.
Tired of walking anyway.
You walk in here on 3 skeevers arguing over a dead body and decide you want to chat with one of them? You either got some kind of guts or you're some kind of stupid. Either way, a family squabble of sorts. You see, one of these cozies went and killed Vereda. Problem is, none of us are about to go treasure hunting. There's a murderer at our back. I'm killing for gold. You don't stop at one. Oh, so I hear. Ancestor of ours, Jadil the Keelhauler, cached her loot around here. If you grab the chest for us, there's no chance for a sneak attack. The map over there will lead you right to it. And obviously, I'll pay you for the trouble. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Look at these squabbling fools. Why don't I just take the treasure myself? Tough like that. The only thing that will crack the chest open is the blood of Jadil's descendant. I'm known as Igeki Ratbite. It would serve you well to not forget that name, given that I'll one day have a legacy as epic as You saw my face, right? I got bit by a rat. It was a big rat. Don't worry, it's dead now. She was an explorer. Sailed from Atmora all the way to Yakura, despite half her crew falling mad along the way. She discovered new lands, new cultures. Shame so few hear of her. Her greatest adventure was raiding the palace of King Ognum himself. Right you are. Fled Piandanea after, quick as a flash. Pa said the whole Merrimore fleet came after her. Eventually, they chased her right to this cove. She fled to the shore, clutching a single chest of treasure. Buried it before making her way back home. The blood of my blood willingly given. That's how the enchantment goes. You see, Jadil wanted to settle down, have a few brats of her own. So, the story was passed along, waiting for a descendant adventurous enough to set sail.
Let's ride! Good eye. I never would have spotted that.
So, were you able to find Jadir's treasure? Huh. I always imagined it a tad bigger. Well, if it's stuffed with diamonds, I guess it doesn't much matter what size the box is. Thanks for grabbing it. Now, if you'll excuse... Now, let's see what we're working with here.
Can't you bleed any faster, Igeki?
Indeed, my being roils with anticipation.
What the? There's just a scroll in here! I sailed across many seas and raided many ships, but the most precious treasure is family. May you see the wisdom in these words.
What? I came all this way for nothing? I can't believe I poisoned Vereda for a stupid scroll!
Hold a moment. You killed Vereda? But I was the one who strangled her right after she fell asleep.
Neither of you are making any sense! I stabbed her! Right after we doused the fire!
Wait, did we all kill Vereda to get a bigger share of the treasure?
Ha! I suppose betrayal runs in the family.
Zero-L! Kitora orders you into the fray! I see it in your thoughts. Even you realize you cannot win.
Can never have enough of that.
What kind of If you've come to bask in the splendor of my latest outdoor arrangement, you're too late. They're ruined. Cast into unsightly disarray by a barbaric vandal. Just go home and spare yourself the disappointment. My garden, my art, has been violated, desecrated by some vulgar wood elf who thinks being raised in the wild gives him the right to pervert my designs. Now he's threatening my life. Can you believe it? Not just a garden, the very art of gardening. Eslian is waging a war on Altmer horticulture. I represent everything he despises, so he's targeting my work. He's gone too far this time, planting stranglers to ward me away. They could kill someone. Stranglers are a stubborn breed. Hacking them up would only be a temporary solution. What I need is proof that the wood elf is responsible, so he can't do any more damage. Perhaps Eslian left something at my gardens that could be incriminating? Weeks ago, Eslian came here to convince me that wilderness should be allowed to grow unchecked and untamed, as in Greenshade. Obviously, I found his argument lacking. It wasn't long after that the tampering began. Of course, but they are of little help. Can't spare time for criminal mischief. It seems sullying our pristine lands doesn't count among the worst things all these Nebara are up to. It's obvious who the culprit is, but I lack proof, so he runs free. The Wood Elf's tampering is sloppy, careless, maybe even thoughtless. I'm sure he's left traces of his work. A discarded trowel, foreign seeds, his own dung, or whatever a wood elf uses to fertilize soil. It'd be trivial if not for the Stranglers. I am the foremost authority of the Altmer botanical arts. My vision has literally shaped the lay of the land from Alinor to Sunhold, and my best arrangements grace the royal palace. If you take issue with our methods, you take issue with me. Occasionally, there are always up-and-comers looking to stir up controversy or make their mark, but no one who desired any respect in the field would stoop to sabotage or assault. He called our wilderness sterile and artificial, nature as unruly and chaotic, but he's rather missing the point. Orderly cultivated gardens are a refinement of the raw. A plant lacks the intelligence to reach its true potential. It must be guided. Those monstrosities aren't native to any isle of Summerset, and they couldn't have crossed the seas naturally. Even if they could, the Stranglers would be more widespread. They were brought here and planted deliberately among my arrangements.
Oh, sorry. It's safe over this way. Follow me. I don't think anything untoward's taken root here. Let's, have a chat, shall we? Hope those Stranglers didn't hurt you. They're ornery buggers. Nearly ate my fool cousin one time, but he was so drunk that... no, never mind, not the time. As you can see, there's a bit of an infestation. Real mess. Has me a bit at a loss. Oh, have we met? Sorry, I don't remember. Never been good with names, or faces, or most details, really. Mom used to say my head would drift straight into the clouds, if not... Me? No. Well, yes, but not intentionally. You see, my brother's a bit of a prankster, and strangler seeds look a lot like white acacia. The short of it is, I did plant them. I just didn't know they were stranglers, and Now I'm trying to get rid of them. Killing them's not the hard part. I'll brew a poison that'll choke the roots until they're brown in the fronds. Trouble is, can't think of a way to use it without breaking the Green Pact. It's a real moral quandary. Oh, yeah, that'd do. Whew, that's a load off my shoulders. Dribble a bit of this in the water sources around here and the stranglers should die off in a few weeks. Just the stranglers, though, promise. I should go apologise to Vinifwe for this. All the stories I've heard about Summerset described it as a paradise. Pristine, idyllic, beautiful. The moment I heard the High Elves were opening the Isles to visitors, you know, artificial. Like everything is an imitation. It's like nothing can be its true self. Everything down to the last blade of grass has to be manicured. Forced to be something it's not. It's not beautiful. It's tyranny. But it's the wilderness. Birds make their nests and Bosmer grow their homes. But beyond those borders, it's Ifra's domain. I don't expect everyone to abide the Green Pact, but enslaving the land like this just feels wrong. Oh, vandalize? Me? I'm not the one herding plants in a cramped little rose. Lashing vines to... Well, the moment I spoke to her, I could tell she'd never seen untamed wilds. Her entire concept of nature is perverse, if I'm blunt. I thought if I could breathe some life into those sterile... Well, I'm sure this little misunderstanding with the Stranglers didn't help my case, but that's a bit much. I should clear things up with Vinifwe before this situation gets any more out of control.
Oh, I hear a breach nearby. You can't, can you? Count yourself lucky. Sounds like a swarm of bees bouncing around in a tin bucket full of sleigh bells. Sort of like that racket bards make.
Rustica! Katara has need of you, Wave Eater! Sea slaughs are patient. We know we will win in the end.
A nice little present from Beck, eh? Off we go!
I told you, this is all just a misunderstanding. Oh, friend, a little help? Hi again. In a bit of a bind, as you can see. I tried to apologize, I really did, but she's telling... Oh, thank Ifra for that. It'll take some time for them to die off, but they'll be too sick to hurt anyone soon. Could you explain that to the good officers of the law here? How this was all an unfortunate... I did meddle a bit, but I didn't mean any harm by it. Surely tossing me in jail's blowing the whole thing out of proportion, right? Promise I'll never do it again. I'll even transplant my addition someplace where they'll be appreciated. Oh, you're a regular saint. I knew the minute I met you that we'd be peas in a pod. You can count on me to do right by Vinifwe. Still don't agree with her, but I'll think of a better way to make my point once this is all blown over.
You must be the concerned bystander I'm hearing so much about. Both Vinifwe and Esleon claim you can prove their case, which begs all sorts of questions. But I don't have time for that. Given that your testimony is the only real evidence I have, I see no reason to continue dragging out this affair. Esleon will be fined for trespassing and criminal mischief, then released. If I see him here again, he will be jailed. Free the prisoner.
Sorry, really. Truly sorry I am. Won't happen again, officer.
You aren't seriously taking his side in this? A slap on the wrist. It'll take months, if not years, to restore my...
You there! Come! I need assistance. Newcomer, I have been on my feet for nearly an hour, and I have just about had enough of it. Be so kind as to retrieve my absentee husband and my dear Eustasia, so I might be finished with this so-called leisure stroll. Of course they're missing. My fool husband let our prized hound off her leash to frolic along the beach. Poor Eustasia didn't know. Into the wilderness, off toward that old way shrine. How far could they have really gone? I would give anything to have my precious Eustasia safely in my arms again. Find her for me, and I should be reclining on my lounge with a quarter-millennium-aged port, and Eustasia nestled in my bosom. But no, Durrell insisted we take a stroll along the beach. Go traipsing off into the woods? What do you take me for? That's better left to people accustomed to such. I am precisely as concerned as I need to be, but I don't see how that's any of your business. If Durrell... A prized waxing terrier. It took 16 generations of careful selection to produce a breed distinct from the common Glenumbran terrier. The region is known for its impurities. I took it as a challenge.
merely a hobby, but one I excel at. My darlings have taken best in show at every show in Summerset. I have even been awarded a commendation for excellence in breeding by the Sapiarchs. Oh, my dear Eustacia! Look at her shaking! She's positively terrified! Yes. He commissioned this on the announcement of our wedding. Gaudy thing. He's dead, you say? Just like Durrell to leave me a mess to clean up. Keep that bauble for your trouble. It must be worth something to someone. Oh, what a disaster! It will take weeks to get the mats out of her coat. Well, I can't tell anyone he died chasing our dog into the woods, can I? It's beneath my dignity. I'll have one of the servants return for him after I've given Eustacia a proper bath. I imagine I'll say he was killed hunting or some such. You see the doe-eyed adoration of that dog? That's the look of a creature who loves too much for her own good. Bless her. Durrell was the same way, and look where that got him. I suggest you invest your own cares more prudently and move along.
My lady, we need to keep moving. You can't help Sunhold if you're dead.
Why, look at that. It seems help has arrived after all. As Kin Lady of Sunhold, I implore you to hear my plea. My city has been overrun by the Maormer, and Admiral Viscount declares only my death will stop this attack. He hates my family and demands my head, but I know surrender will not save my people. For centuries, Sunhold has been the first line of defense against Maormer raiders. Many of their soldiers have fallen by my family's command, and now, with our fleet gone and soldiers depleted, they've decided to strike. I need your help. Destroy the Maormer supplies gathered along the shore, rescue any citizen you find captured, and free Sunwell, a griffin from capture. She's not only the city's symbol, she's also the best weapon we have at our disposal. Will you help? Kavid and I shall head to the Merchants' District. I need to investigate the area and see whether Maormer may be holding Sunhold's nobles prisoner. Meet me there when you've completed your tasks, and we'll assess the situation. Griffins have always been our city's symbol. Majestic, strong, fierce. Sunhold is often the first line of defense against invaders, and we need a griffin's strength. Sunwell just happens to embody that spirit as her... not so much of a pet as a representation of the city's spirit. The ruling family has always kept a tame bloodline of the creatures. Well, tame as a griffin can be. I was practically raised alongside Sunwell. She's like a member of my family. Griffins are fiercely territorial. As soon as she's freed, Sunwell will hunt down those she perceives as invaders, and as a symbol of Sunhold, she'll also inspire my citizens to keep fighting. What Sunhold needs is hope, now more than ever. An invasion isn't too unusual for Sunhold, given the city's location. It's why we hold one of the best naval fleets in Summerset. However, most of our ships have been sent to help the war effort, and now it seems our worst fears have come to life. Yes, though it pains me to admit it. My city burns and my people are in chains. If only we could turn the tide, we might have a fighting chance to resist this invasion, at least until reinforcements can arrive. Admiral Viscount's cunning as a leader is the reason this invasion has been so successful. His death could turn the tide of battle, but he's far too protected to strike against. It is he who calls for my blood, as Kinlady of Sunhold. As Kinlady, I am the ruler of Sunhold. My death would leave my citizens without a leader to guide them. Even so, I would quickly give my life if I thought it would save my city. Only a fool trusts a sea snake. My death is only to sate the Maormer's hatred of those who have triumphed against them, a victory against Summerset. But as Kinlady, I also cannot hide while my city suffers. We must fight back.
you, but now I'm going to. I didn't kill them to run away. Well, no, I guess it wouldn't. Maybe they should try that. Thought I was done for. I hope you're watching. I was done for. I met you. Off with you, Switch! don't like your odds.
Fine.
That's a slaughtered
Charge
Dagon.
to
would
defeat
it be?
this resistance once and for all.
a big family, you have to know how to scrap.
Get back, you fetcher!
It was an ambush! Admiral Viscarn has the kin lady up ahead! You have to stop them! I can't save kin lady Helena with the Maormer were waiting for anyone stupid enough to raid supplies from the smithy. I tried to fight, but they grabbed the kin lady and ran off. You need to defeat Admiral Viscarn before it's too late. Sunhold won't last if the kin lady's killed.
You're the ones helping this wretch. I'll put a stop to your meddling once and for all. Did you truly think you could stop the mighty Sunhold is ours. There's no... My liege, I've been defeated.
Something you need?
Thank the stars you arrived. I thought my life forfeit. Viscarn was ranting before you came, burned supplies, released prisoners, a griffin now roaming the skies, picking off sea elves like the rats they are. Tell me, was that your doing? With Admiral Viscarn dead, now is the time to strike. I shall rally my people and call Sunnerwell to my side. We'll form a resistance the likes of which these sea snakes have never known. Thank you for making this all possible. With the Maormer down and Admiral Viscarn defeated, I'm sure my citizens will join together and fight. All we have to do is keep Sunhold standing until help arrives. I'm glad he's all right. To think, not so long ago I argued against opening Summerset's borders, and yet without the help of newcomers, Sunhold would never have survived. I'll forever be grateful for the deeds you've done today.
You bring it, I buy it. And I'm not picky on what it is.
Best prices
hall.
I should have joined the buoyant armigers. Nothing wrong with a little opportunistic harvesting.
There you are. Quickly, over here. Well, were you able to find Nirelin? Or at least, whatever those werewolves left of her? Well, that is troublesome. Still, I expect Nirelin knows well enough to keep away, and no one else need know of her change. Here's your payment, and of course discretion is key here. As far as you and I are concerned, Nirelin died in that grove.
Vexing for some competition.
Seeking us headed to the famed Russefeld winery, traveler. Well then, it seems I'm not the only one who'll be disappointed today. Old Hallimorian's been offed by those wood elves. Won't be any wine tastings for a while, I'd wager. Just what I heard from one of the bailiffs. Apparently, some daffy Bosmer called the Ghost of the Green did it, but no one knows for sure. The investigation's hit a snag. Something about the rule of three. Superstitious nonsense, if you ask me. Indeed. Until they find a suitable third investigator, the Juris Reeves and Revelators are left to sit on their hands. Nonsense. Why not go lend them a hand? They'll likely just tell you to go jump into the sea, but it can't hurt to ask.
Wow, you don't come by those too often.
An examiner's quorum needs 3 members. You both know this.
Not this again.
It's not just superstition, Soraville. We need outside perspective.
So, what? We just randomly recruit the next adventurer that passes by?
And just like that, Oriel provides. Greetings, Caraval. I am Chief Jurisreef Tarnamir of the Divine Prosecution. Or at least I was, in the long ago. I know this is unorthodox, but perhaps you'd be interested in helping us. As you can see, a murder took place here. My protégés, Lorne and Soraville, came to investigate, but I fear they may lack perspective. The particulars of this murder... Forgive me, I'm getting ahead of myself. They need fresh eyes. Yours, I believe. You would take on the duties of the Adminan, the listening eye. An auspicious role. The Adminan serves as the fulcrum, balancing competing theories. They also collect evidence, interview suspects and the like. What do you say? I thank the Divines that you've agreed to help. This murder weighs heavy on all of us. The victim, Elamorian, was not well liked. Many locals may lift a glass to his passing. But the assassin, the Ghost of the Green, that's altogether different. Better to ask Lorne about it. Capturing the ghost was her obsession for a time. The fact that he's returned does not sit well with her. I can say no more. I don't want to prejudice your impressions. The Adminan should bring a fresh perspective. They're the most gifted investigators I've ever trained. Soraville has keen eyes and solid instincts when it comes to reading people. Good at finding pressure points, you know? As for Lorne, she has a mind like a dwarven puzzle box. For Lorne, logic is an art. She's clinical in her sensibilities, precise. Many of us have come to rely on magical inquiry to solve crimes. She relies on her wits and intuition instead. Of course, this case presents unique challenges. Lorne and Soraville drifted apart shortly after they caught the original Ghost of the Green. It's a complicated matter, and not my story to tell. Suffice it to say, this case cuts deep, and Lorne seems distracted. I hope you can help her keep her wits. As I said, was the Chief Inquisitor for the Divine Prosecution's Hindelatus Wing, the division charged with solving adoctrinal crimes. Forgive me, it's a mouthful for newcomers, I know. I retired here to Russefeld a few decades ago. Well, I own the land, so in some ways I have even greater authority than I did as Chief Inquisitor. I still enjoy a bit of clout, too. Real leadership doesn't rely on titles, Kerem. Not a popular opinion here in Summerset, but true nonetheless. Ha! Fair, I suppose. I may be retired, but I've spent the better part of 3 centuries examining crime scenes and interrogating criminals. When it comes to reading people, I am more than proficient. Let me guess. Thieves' Guild? Or is it Dark Brotherhood? I won't pretend that bringing a criminal into this business sets my heart at ease, but you're no common hood. You're a professional. Who better to investigate a crime than a criminal?
So you'll be joining us. Good. Call me Lorne. No need for flowery titles. We Altmer have too many names already. I'm glad you're here. Outsiders often make the best adminins. A fresh pair of eyes will be essential here. More essential than usual. It's a long and depressing story. One I'm not keen to recount. For now, just know that whoever murdered Halimorian took great pains to make it look like the work of the Ghost of the Green. A killer that Soraville and I apprehended decades ago. The Ghost always left a signature to let us know it was him. He killed each victim with a single wood elf arrow to the heart, then laid a fern over the body. The fern is here, but the shot was sloppy, and the arrow is of high elven make. It's odd. I need to examine the body in more detail. Can you do a sweep of the vineyard? If you find anything, blow this whistle. It also might be worth questioning people in town. They'll be more forthcoming with an outsider.
What do you want? The Revelator's already questioned me and cut me loose. I just want to be here if something exciting happens. You don't? The Ghost of the Green has returned. Zen's avenging champion. Of course it's exciting. These Longlegs thought they executed him years ago, but now he's back, ready to dole out Deepwood justice. New around here, eh? Halimorian was a sap-ass dandy, slapping wood elves with one hand and groping them with the other. The Ghost of the Green just did what the prosecution wouldn't. Good riddance. Murdered? No, executed. Executed by a righteous hand. Just have a look around, outsider. I'll bet my horns you'll find evidence of misdeeds. This was a long time coming. Hopefully it put these other long-legged prigs on notice.
It really is too bad about Halimorian. I told him he shouldn't be so free with his politics. It's a different climate now, after all. You have to watch what you say around people. On the upside, it's good to be rid of a rival vintner. Oh, darling, you're a bit late to the party if that's why you're here. I already submitted my statement to the Revelators, and my alibi is thrice confirmed. To be honest, the only reason I'm still here is to find one of my servant girls. Yes, a charming young wood elf named Farrell. I only recently brought her on. She used to work for the late Halimorian, but there was some kind of incident. I don't know the details. According to my other servant girl, she often came back here to visit the friends she left behind. She'd attend Bosmer suppers, midday revels in the grape fields, that sort of thing. I encourage my girls to take time for themselves, within reason. Aren't you a cherry blossom? That would be lovely. Take care, Karen.
Ah, you come to babble with Babblebrook? When came the killers? I had a look. Babblebrook knows what Babblebrook sings. Why can't you make sense of things? A ghost did bring the vintner's end, but even wraiths can have a friend. Don't you see? Death comes in twos. Friends and killers both win and lose. Killers and killed are two, it's true. So near, the source of fear. But Babblebrook babbles too long, it seems. Best make haste, or we'll hear more screams.
Another body. Delightful.
Oh dear. Blood on her hands and blouse. But no slashing wounds. This doesn't fit the pattern. The ghost always kills with a bow. This was spur of the moment. Unexpected. Maybe she fought back.
Why do you insist on puzzling these things over like an femme? You know the death memory ritual. It's a simple...
Enough, Soraville. You know that's forbidden. Admonin, look around and see if you can find the source of this blood. You found something? So did I. It looks like Fariel was strangled, not stabbed. This blood must be the attacker's. A sickle? Blood on the blade. She must have used it to defend herself. Then the attacker hid it. This blood could be the key. I intend to, yes. I'm a fair hand at alchemy. You'd be surprised how useful it can be in my line of work. I've caught more killers with flasks and alembics than I have with any sword. My husband used to say Sorry. I suppose it's past time I told you. The ghost murdered 17 people before we caught him. His last victim was my husband. Soraville's wife committed suicide when she heard the news. They were having an affair, you see. It was a difficult time. It's fine, Now you see why we needed a neutral party. Enough. Let's get back on task. I'd like you to search Halamorian's villa. It's just southwest of here. He was unpopular. If we can find out why, we might be able to establish motive.
You'll take anything that isn't tied down, won't you?
Have you heard? A high
Sorry,
elven woman
I don't mean to be checking up on you. I just think better when I walk. And the blood is still simmering in the alembic. It will be some time before I have the results. Did you find anything of use in Halamorian's villa? From what I hear, the accusations are almost certainly true. So, Halamorian was making unwanted advances. Of course. The original ghost murder spree started with a high elf farmer who took liberties with his Bosmer laborers. We never published the details of that investigation. It can't be a coincidence. This new ghost must be someone in the know. Someone close. None that I'm keen to share, not yet anyway. For now, let's go with what we know. The Wood Elves have motive. Soraville went down to the cottage east of here to look around. Meet him there, and see if you can shake anything loose. I have to think.
I assure you, Chief, it would bring me no joy to unleash our revelators on your new home, but I'll have to unless you let us take a look around.
Fine, but just one of you, your partner. Do your work, then leave us in peace.
One, then. I'll be sure to report your compliance to the divine prosecution.
Like we have a choice in the matter. Come, join me for a meal. Meat's fresh enough.
Delightful. I suppose I'll stay here to break bread with the chief while you have a look around. Not the way I wanted things to go, but we will simply have to adapt. Did she? I must admit, I'm surprised. Lorne never talks about that ordeal. Certainly not with me, anyway. My. Are you an adminin or a confessor? Tarnamir is quite right. After all that happened, we had a difficult time getting back into a routine. I tried to keep things professional, healthy, but she was just lost. She never fully recovered. Tarnamir. When the Ghost of the Green returned, Tarnamir naturally called on the two people best suited to catch him. It was awkward at first, but we've managed. I suppose I have you to thank for that. In part, at least. Not regularly, no. We High Elves have acute memories, but I find that if you stay busy enough, you don't have time to reminisce. So much the better. Anything at all that could link this clan, or one of its members, to the murders of Halamorian or Fariel. None of these Wood Elves held Halamorian in high regard. We just need to find out if that enmity led to murder. Operate under the assumption that the killer was here, or still could be. Question everything you see and hear, and look out for any overt or subtle references to the Ghost of the Green. Ah, yes. I hadn't even thought of that. A corrupt High Elf merchant and an abused Wood Elf girl. There are certainly similarities. I find everything suspicious. Whoever this killer is, they've obviously acquainted themselves with the ghost's history and methods. We kept most of those details secret, but unscrupulous revelators routinely sell those details to enthusiasts. Honestly, I think this is the work of a deranged and obsessive mind. One of these Wood Elves read about the Ghost of the Green, saw an opportunity for cultural glory, for immortality, and seized it. Even so, Lorne and I have to be sure.
Who are you? Are you with the Divine Prosecution? My husband warned me you might come poking round. Halamorian hated us. He abused our children and tried to drive us off. Of course the High Elves would suspect us. And our son Kellan, he... Never mind, please just go. We don't want any trouble. We just want to live here in peace. You really just want to keep him safe? Well, I'm not supposed to say this, but Kellan has been going on about the Ghost of the Green for weeks now. You know boys and their masked heroes. I didn't think there was any harm in it. But now... No, of course not. He's a good boy. I only mean that it could look suspicious because of his interest in those old legends. Besides, didn't the Ghost of the Green run around in a mad hunter's costume? Where would my son get something like that? Yes, I'm sure. Look, you're free to look around. Just try to... We're simple men, we don't have much. Halamorian may have been a cruel bigot, but none of us would ever murder him for it, I swear.
Bosmer cuisine is truly revolting. I bought us as much time as I could. I hope you found something useful. A shrine? There's an old shrine to Ifre west of here, the Red Temple. But from what Tarnamir told me, people rarely visit. Filled with wild animals or some such. I only know of one entrance, a cave nearby. Follow me. We should split up. Don't want this little scamp slipping out behind us. I can handle this gap easily. You search the other hall. We could have worked such terrible wonders together. Pathetic. You, though, you're perfect. Tell Lorne her past is hunting her present. Yes, tell her that.
What's happening? Am I... The ghost recruited me, said he needed me. He gave me the costume, told me to kill as he would. Alamorian hated us, was going to kill us. I know it, after what he did to Fariel. Fariel is dead. Oh, Divines, you've cursed me, haven't you? I only shot Alamorian, I swear it. Fariel was so kind. I wanted Alamorian to pay. I thought the Ghost of the Green was a hero. I wanted people to see me that way. Never saw his face. He never said his name. I didn't need to know. I'd read the stories. I believed in him, and he saw something in me. I never... Mother... I'm sorry.
I was too slow. Damned Mer slipped right past me. Tall for a wood elf, and quick as a spooked hare. So, it really is the chief's son. Wait, what? What do you mean, another Ghost of the Green? The journal you showed me, did Kellan kill Halamorian or not? What about the wood elf girl, Fariel? Did he kill her too? Yes. Show her the arrow immediately. Perhaps she can compare Kellan's blood to the blood on Fariel's sickle. At the very least, we'll be able to determine if Kellan killed Fariel. I'll be along as soon as I'm able.
You're back. And not a moment too soon. Do you have some? A second ghost. I suspected as much. And he killed this Kellan with that arrow? Another High Elf hunting arrow, like the one that killed Halamorian. Kellan had motive. This second ghost provided the costume, the weaponry. But why? So, this isn't about Halamorian. It isn't about the Wood Elves or Altmer prejudiced. It's about me. It's always been about me. I knew it. I knew this was too convenient. I also knew the Mer who killed Faril couldn't be this Kellan. I just finished experimenting on the blood from Faril's sickle. It was Altmer blood. This second ghost isn't some Wood Elf zealot. He's a High Elf like me. I moved the bodies to Tarnamir's manor. We should... Maybe we missed something.
I was tired of walking anyway.
What? This place has been... What happened here? Oh no. No. Tarnamir? Tarnamir, are you here? Tarnamir? You found something? This is a message. This is a message. Everything in this room. It's all meant to tell us something. Elevane is another name for the Heeless Owl. Elevanes lay their eggs, then abandon them. We use that word to describe people who are cold-hearted or aloof. And then there's the bodies. Arranged to mimic Mara's cross. This is about love. Intimacy. Or more likely, someone I failed to love. There's only one suspect left. A Mer with means, motive, and deep understanding of the Ghost of the Green. No! It can't be! The Ghost of the Green ruined Soraville's life, just as he ruined mine. If not for the ghost, Soraville's wife would likely still be alive. I have to know. I'm sorry for what you're about to see. Auriel, forgive me. Stand back, and I'll show you. You already saw how Kellan died. Now, we'll see the others.
What's this? A tiny ghost of a green? Ha! Run along, well, before!
What have I done?
Kellan definitely killed Halamorian. Now, Faril.
Who are you?
I'm afraid you've seen too much. You poor thing.
Soraville was observing Kellan when Faril saw him. She slashed him with her sickle before he overpowered her.
So it is you. Shame on you.
The shame is Lord's, old Mer. Now she'll have your death on her conscience, too. No, Soraville. This is you and you alone. Give my regards to my loving wife and Lorne's degenerate husband. Lorne? I know you're watching, Lorne. Now that I've broken your spirit and you've broken your vow, come to the place where my wife is buried. There, I will break your body.
I need some air. I'll be outside. How could he blame me for this? Is it not enough that I lost my husband? Damn him! His wife was buried here. This is where we'll find him. You're sticking by my side. Even after I used that death memory ritual. I appreciate that, Adminin. True. I told you how the ghost of the Green killed my husband. Soraville's wife, my husband's lover, was overcome with grief. Not for that. For what came after. Soraville wanted us to mend each other's wounds. Perhaps even fall in love and make a life together. I just couldn't. Come, let's put an end to this. Soraville, I know you're here. What do you want from me?
become agreeable.
The ghost of the Green's final victim. Time to die, admin.
That one put up a fight, didn't they?
Somerville. Is he... He is. It's done then, isn't it? I knew he wouldn't come quietly. In the end, I bear the blame. A killer. Right beside me, and I didn't see it until more lives were lost. I will be. The arrow struck near my collarbone. Somerville was a gifted marksman. Maybe he couldn't see as well through the mask, or it was nerves. Or maybe he didn't really want me dead after all. Just one more question I'll never have answered. One more thing, if you're willing. I'm certain that Somerville never spoke to Kellan's parents, given that this was all his scheme to begin with. They lost their son. I just need a moment here alone. Ironic that this came to a head in such a holy place. Maybe I can find some absolution here. Or at least some... He did. Perhaps I deserved it. But all those people... An innocent girl. A naive young Mer. You're right, I suppose. I just wish I had been better. A better Jurisreeve, a better wife, a better friend. Maybe I could have prevented all this. I'm sorry. Thank you for your kind words. I will try to take them to heart. You have my word.
He's my son. I deserve to know what's going on.
I don't. I am sorry. But the prosecution is still examining his body. We will release his remains to you as soon as we can.
You. I remember you. Please, you have to tell me what's going on. My son never came home. And now they tell me he's... If for his mercy... How could you? Why didn't you save him? Damn this place. Damn the prosecution. Here, take this thing. I found it under Kellan's bed. I never want to see it again. I never want to see you again. Gods help me.
A hard thing to witness. There are rarely any happy endings in this line of work. You just have to remember that things would be much worse had you not been here. That matters.
Come on, Alan. Ugh, my aching head. Where in Oblivion am I? Oh, yes, that's right. This is Russefeld. I came here to buy some... My wine bottles! They should be right here. Oh, Father's going to kill me if I come home empty-handed. Again. I must have lost them during the winery tour. I may have had one too many... I'm not entirely sure. Oh, by Oblivion, I'm not even sure what day it is. The bottles must be somewhere along the winery grounds. I probably dropped them as we went along. I can barely see straight right now. I believe we toured the southern, northern, and central arbors. Yes, that sounds right. There should be 3 bottles, all with the Russefeld seal. Now, you go do that. I'm going to lie down for just a minute. Oh, it's the best place for wine in Summerset. Well, at least according to my father it is. That's why he makes me travel all the way here. Honestly, though, it tastes all the same to me. Why, aren't you just hilarious? Yes, let's bully the tasteless lush who lost his wine. Speaking of which, don't you have bottles to find? I must return to Shimmerine soon, or I'll never hear the end of it. So, off you go. Fine, fine. Let me try to remember. I recall sitting near a fire with someone playing a lute. Yes, that memory's a bit more clear. I believe you'll find the first bottle there. The sunrise, perhaps? It was getting darker then. I took a seat on a stone bench further within the arbor. There was a light behind me, but it was faint. A small lamp, I suppose? Yes, and I had just a hint of my bottle of wedding veil. I remember now. Ah, my rose heart. Strong stuff, if memory serves. I must have been even further within the arbor at that time, probably close to town. I remember falling down quite a few times. It most likely ended up on the ground.
Yeah!
Nice hole.
Now a story unfolds upon a pitiful mold. 'Twas made to thrive on raft. This unsightly staff was a trickster's last laugh. Long after his battle was fought. Yeah.
luck. My head hasn't hurt this bad since, well, actually not that long ago. Perhaps my cousin's wedding last month? But then, there was that little get-together last week. Never mind all that. Have you the bottles? My, don't these beauties look tempting? Perhaps I'll have a few sips, just to get me going before I set off on the road. Here's your reward, for services rendered and all that.
There's nothing better than a night of drinking. Except a day of even more drinking. I'm staying here for a while, then moving on when the roads are safer. Until then, I just...
My wife, Renara, wanted to move out to the country. So, here we are, I guess.
Let's ride! Getting good at this. Oh, I probably shouldn't be proud of that. nothing wrong with a little opportunistic harvesting. Was that the last of them? Oh, thank feck. Never used to fight this much, until I met you. Yeah! Would it kill them to run away? Well, no, I guess it wouldn't. Maybe they should try that. Off we go! finders keepers, as they say. I was tired of walking anyway.
Raz's investigations have brought him to Relenthiel. When this one noticed your Sijic friend slip into town, Raz figured you'd be along soon. So, what did you discover on Arteum, the island that isn't here anymore? Ugh, that made Raz's head hurt. Yes, this one has been exploring the Daedric connection as well. But Raz hates Daedra. In Raz's experience, very little good comes from dealing with Daedra or their cultists. And this revelation brings you to Relenthiel, yes? That is disturbingly vague. Why must cryptic cultists be so... cryptic? Well, Raz saw Valserin head toward Canonry Farmeldo's house. This one suggests we start our investigation of the area there.
Drat! You there. You're new to Relenthiel, aren't you? You certainly look like an outsider. I regret the necessity, but I must beg your aid. My brother is about to make a terrible mistake and join an appalling organization. Worse, an acting troupe. The House of Reveries may be famous across Summerset, but my brother is one of the most gifted academics of our generation. For him to waste his talents performing for rich nobles is just irresponsible. I fear he's already signed up, and that's why I require you as an ally. I'll need you to infiltrate the acting troupe. Laredale, my brother, knows my face, but he does not know yours. You must find him for me so I can talk him out of this. Auriel himself would smile on your kindness. Now, we haven't a moment to waste. The House of Reveries is hosting auditions this very moment. You must...